Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to CollectioNeo or Statueforum. I'm here, of course, with another review for you guys. And today we are back in the world of popcultureshock and the world of Street Fighter. We've got the Ultra Ken exclusive from the PCS Ultra line, which is a 1-4 fully sculpted line, and probably one of the best Street Fighter lines available. To be honest, even though that Prime 1 have just shown off their Street Fighter 5 versions, I still think this is probably the best Street Fighter line. Hey, sue me. You know, I'm a massive Prime 1 fan, but you know, PCS have still got it in them. Now, despite all their troubles and, you know, trivialities, which we won't go over at the minute, PCS are actually getting there. They're putting pieces out. They're putting pieces out of good quality. Aftermarket prices are still low. If you're a buyer, now is the time to buy, because oh boy, are some of these Street Fighter pieces and other pieces taking a hit. Oh man. This guy actually got on sale from Sideshow. So let me just go over it, a few details, and then what we'll do is we'll zoom in, I'll go over all the switch outs, and you know how it goes. So this piece was $499 retail. This is exclusive version, which I'll go over. What comes with that? This is limited to 300 pieces. They also did a Violent Ken version. If you don't know Violent Ken, he debuted in SVC Chaos on the Neo Geo. A kind of a nothing character, but because he's only been in one game, well, he's been in 2 games now, as well as he's in Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Switch. But because he was only in this one game, he had like a revered status, but a cool looking character, but not the best. But they kind of bottled it to fan pressure and kind of made the Violent Ken version. And then there's a regular version. Now, the differences between these, there's quite a few. So the regular version, you will get everything you see here, but the gloves are not brown, they're orange. So that's his Street Fighter 4 appearance. So I think it was in the original Street Fighter 4, he had orange gloves rather than his normal brown gloves. Only on this exclusive version can you get the brown gloves. There's no other way of getting the brown gloves. If you order the regular, you get everything here, including the flame, but you get orange gloves. So just be aware of that. Now, they did originally offer a version without the flame for $50 less, so it's $499 with the flame, $449 without it. But I don't think they actually produced that version. I think they actually just, you know, canned that, because obviously sales weren't massive because of all the shit that's been happening with PCS. But the regular version, I can't find the edition size for. There's no edition size on Sideshow, but that version is waitlisted for some reason. Don't ask me why. It's the same price as this version. Maybe people like the orange gloves. I personally don't. I think the orange gloves look awful. But you do get the, like I say, you do get the flame, which is the most important part. Now, actually, I got this on sale. It was on sale for $425, which isn't a massive discount. You know, it's only $75. But it was free shipping worldwide, so I got this shipped to the UK for free. I also threw on a $25 discount code, so I got this for $400 shipped, which I've got to say is, for what you get in this statue and the quality of it, is pretty much a bargain. This was a piece that I wanted to pick up. I've still got my Ultra Geef and Ultra Vega. I never picked up Cammy, but Ken was always one that I wanted to pick up, just because I was kind of waiting to see Prime 1's hands, and I don't like what Prime 1 are doing with the Street Fighter. I think Akuma was the best of the 3. If you don't know, Prime 1 showed off Ryu, Ken and Akuma from Street Fighter 5. I really like Ken's Street Fighter 5 iteration, his Luke, but yeah, the statues just didn't do it for me. And of course, the Prime 1 pieces, they're probably going to be $800 to $1,000 each. $400 shipped. Obviously, that's like, I think with customs on it's cost me 330 quid. Which is nuts. But yeah, so it's still on there. Like I say, the regular is on there for waitlist. Don't know why you'd want the regular, but hey, if you like the orange gloves. Here's the COA before we zoom in. 33 of 400 Ken. And there's a sneaky peek of the exclusive head. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pause, we'll zoom in, we'll go over everything and do some details. So, like all the other Ultra statues, we've got a cylinder style base. This is like a green Gurdy effect. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but there is actually some like nice rusting done on here. The paint's actually really well done. rusting along these edges and on these rivets to show that they are supposed to be girders. Now, why are they girders, are you asking? Well, if you don't know Ken's background, his father is a billionaire? Millionaire for sure, billionaire probably. And he runs the hotel business. Apparently that's the backstory, and so they wanted to do something referencing that. It's an odd reference, I definitely agree, but hey, it's themed. I think something to do with Ken's stage would have been better. But I've got to say, it's really nice. I really like the green. Actually, there's not a lot of things you get with a green base. And it totally works for, you know, while being not super complicated. It totally works for the rest of the pose. And then up on here, we've just got some bricks and mortar, basically, concrete blocks. Everything's painted really well. You know, there's nothing too special about the bricks. There's no some different colour variations might have been a bit nice. It's just greys and blacks really. You know, maybe some of the you know, the metal rods that they have threaded through the concrete. A couple of them might have been nice to break it up. But what we're really here to see is Ken. Now, I know a lot of people had a problem with PCS doing Ken's Ultra statue and doing a kick pose rather than a Shoryuken or Dragon Punch, if you like. I love the fact that they did the kick, and it looks fucking great. Ken is all about the kicks. To me, this is third strike Ken. And, you know, if you're not using kicks with Ken and third strike, you're not playing right. So the kicks, yeah, I'm super happy that they went with the kick pose. And it's a really, really cool pose. Something a little different. And as you can probably see, the flame effect is fantastic. It's a really, really nice quality. It looks like a big sweet. It's like it's got yellows and reds and oranges running through, as you can probably see there. All of it catches the light brilliantly. The flame effect is wow. It's really, really nicely done. It's all one piece. Plugs in on the base with a big magnet. Plugs in the foot. Like I say, the flame effect, you could actually buy the statue without it, but I don't think they produce that. And going forward, they actually, the next piece they did for the Ultraline was jewellery, and they actually did his piece as a separate piece. So they did a Senpusher effect that plugged into the base, like a round, whirly, purpley effect. And it basically plugs onto the base, but they sold it completely separately. Which is nice if you don't want the piece, you know, because you're obviously saving $50. But for those who did want the piece, they didn't do it as a packing option. So they didn't do it as a, hey, buy jewellery and the effect piece and it all comes as one. They just did the effect piece completely separate. But of course, then, that means for someone like me, being international, I've got to pay shipping on that and custom fees separately to the actual statue, which is madness. So it's $50 for the effect, which is about 40 quid. And then I looked up on Sideshow, it's £33 postage. So that's nearly as much for the shipping as the effect. And then I'd have customs on, which would probably be another 20 quid. So before you know it, I am, what's that, 90 quid for the effect, which is like a quarter of what the statue costs. It was just not a good idea at all. And luckily, they kind of dropped it after that. I don't know if it's because the negative impact of the feedback on the effect piece, or it was just an experiment. I don't know, but really, it really didn't work. And I don't know why they did it. But like I say, Ken seems to, maybe that was the thing as well, because Ken, obviously, no one bought it without the flame effect, because the flame effect, for me, totally makes it. You can display him without the flame effect, which I will show you in a sec. Let's just take off the gloves. Brown gloves. Now, like I say, the brown gloves are only with this exclusive version. The normal version comes with yellow, orange gloves from Street Fighter 4, which, yeah, you want brown. Nicely textured. Fingernails nicely done. Now, I know a lot of people might think this is looking a little simple compared to the hyper detail of Prime 1. But with Street Fighter, I don't want that hyper detail. I kind of want it. You know, I much prefer this for my Street Fighter pieces than, you know, it's not taken away, because like once we get up onto Ken, you'll see the skin detail and stuff. is great. PCS standard, you know, musculature and vein details and things like that. And actually, let's get a little bit closer. Ken's gi has actually got nice stitching in it. All the fold details are really, really good. I'm not much, and I think I've said it before, with Sume doing it now, where they do all these little tiny specks and cross stitches and details. It just doesn't work for me. People seem to love that shit. I especially hate it on anime statues where it's not there in the original anime, and then they start adding in all these unnecessary details. And then let's scooch up a bit. In fact, let's scooch right up. So we've zoomed right in onto Ken here. As you can see, the face, the chest, really good sculpt all round. I don't know if you'll pick up all the speckling and the paint details. Skin textures and tones have never been a PCS problem, unless you bought Rambo. And I've got to say here, you know, Ken looks great. Now the face. On all the promo pics, I wasn't much for the face, and it was kind of the only thing that held me back from pre-ordering it. But now it's in hand, I actually do like it. Do I think it's a perfect Ken face? No. Do I think it's a bad Ken face? Definitely not. You know, because he's got these lines going up to the nose, makes him look a little piggy. But I think profile looks great, and the angle from which you display him, which is kind of that, I think it looks fine. You know, it's definitely a Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3 Ken, older. All the magnets, I must say, are great on this, really strong connections. So while we've got that head off, I'll show you what else you get for the exclusive. Like I say, the exclusive version, brown gloves only, but you also get yellow gloves. Which I'll try and pop back on. These are all keyed, so you can't put the arms on the wrong way. And you also get his Street Fighter Zero or Alpha if you prefer hair. So got the red band that he gives Ryu, and the long hair. Now the main problem with this is it's the same face. It's the same face as the regular head. They've just stuck different hair on. A, I don't think the hair's a very good sculpt. And B, it's supposed to be a younger Ken. If this was done in a more anime styling and actually made to look younger, that head would be fucking great and be usable. But for how it is, it's not great. It really isn't great. The regular head is the way to go. I'll stick this head on. It doesn't look too bad on display. Honestly. But I think if they'd just done a younger sculpt, it would have really, really made that useful. And the yellow gloves, I mean, from the back, from the back, it looks amazing. With the ponytail, the flames, the yellow gloves, it's Street Fighter Zero Ken. Then the face is a little bit, like I say, from a distance it looks fine. But no, regular head is the way to go. So what I'm going to do now is attempt to take the flame off, put the regular foot on, just to show you guys, because I might as well while I'm here. So there we go, the regular foot in. And then I just wanted to show you, just because I had thought of everything. In there you can see we've got a huge magnet just here. That's where the other end of the flame connects. You get a little stone. Just goes in there to block up the gap. And obviously that was what they were going to do if they produced the version without the flame. Just, you know, to cover costs. But it's nice to have the option. I don't know why anyone would want to display him without the flame kick, honestly. I think the flame kick takes statue from like, you know, a solid 6, 7 up to like a good 8.5. But of course, all of the other Ultra statues haven't really got any effects like that. So if you want to pair him up with Vega or Geef more, I suppose the flame kick doesn't really sit with those two, but I just think it looks fucking great. So let me just show you this flame piece on its own. It's a huge, huge piece. You don't really get the size of it as it's coming around the statue in the base. But it's a nice, huge, great piece. I think it, like I say, it totally makes a statue for me. So guys, just to finish off now, I am going to pause. We're going to throw them in the collection with Vega and Geef, and you can have one final look, and I will reattach the flame. And here we are guys, back on display. And there we go, we've got Vega, that is the X, but I don't display the X PCs. Kenny X and my Geef regular. The matching bases really work. I love that there's a slight theme to them. And I just think it's a great line. I mean, if you haven't seen my Zangief review, go and check that out on this channel if you're watching on CollectioNeo, or over on CollectioNeo if you're watching on statueforum. I mean, this is a beast of a piece. I mean, a real stunner. And I think Ken fits perfectly with the rest of them. I do need to pick up Cammy, like I say. And then the rest of the line, we've got Bison coming, which I think looks great. I have that on order. Dawson, who also looks great. And then Ibuki as well. You know, Ibuki, Street Fighter Third Strike, one of the best fighting games ever, easily the best Street Fighter game. Ibuki is one of my favourite characters, so when that came up as an Ultra line piece, I was just like, yes. And it looks fantastic. And then Ryu as well, which again, I think the PCS Ultra Ryu looks better than the Prime 1 version. Hey, shoot me. And there is actually a Evil Ryu version of that and a Battle Ryu as well, which has just gone up for order like a few days ago. And they've also teased Blanca. Now, don't ask me why they've teased Blanca for the Ultra line. It's a weird one to choose, but hey, I'll take a Blanca. But like I say, guys, for the money, Ken is awesome. He's still in stock on Sideshow for the exclusive. I think he's on low stock or almost sold out. And the Violent Ken version's still on there. It's just the regular that's waitlisted. But honestly, go for the exclusive version. Get those brown gloves. Ken deserves the brown gloves. Don't worry too much about the Alpha Street Fighter Zero PCs. Display them like this. And for $400 shipped, especially to the UK, you really, really can't knock it. So there you go, guys. We're back on the Street Fighter bandwagon with popcultureshock's Ultraline kenmasters. Anything else to add? No. Next statue, guys, I've got no idea. Maybe Ornstein from First Figures, but that is a few months away. Probably something in the interim. But we will see, guys. So there you go. Thanks for watching, as always. And we'll see you next time. Bye.